using vents, by covering windows, whatever, you can make things easier on yourself and easier on your heating and cooling. But also behind this is the winch that operates the lift bed. And this part right here is done just to cover the cable trolley, is what I call it. It's just where all four corners, four cables come together onto a common trolley that's then pulled by a single winch line to raise and lower that. And since we're talking about that, the bed has been great. It's in storage right now for a month or two, and so the bed has been stripped, so that's just the mattress cover that you see right now. But we normally have a white a blanket or bedspread, so it's white, between the two ceilings, so it looks better than it does at the moment. But that bed is great. We love it. It's a full-size queen, okay, not a RV queen, and it's a 10-inch memory foam that's been great. And these new memory foams aren't like the early ones where you would get hot. This thing breathes and is really nice, and I've really enjoyed sleeping on this memory foam bed. So some additional comments on the bed. We travel with the bed in the up position, in the down position most of the time. And the reason for that is that keeps my center of gravity low, and I just think that's, in the big picture, the safer way to go. We have done some shorter trips, like 30 miles or so, and we've just left the bed up. There's been no issues, no problems. The whole bed structure and everything is probably under 200 pounds. But by having that down low, I think that, like I said, that's been the best option. I do have pins where I pin the you see it there. Let me zoom in on it. So I got pins in the corners just for safety's sake when it's in the up position. And then when I've traveled with it in the up position, what I've done is I lower the bed down so it sits just above the pins normally. So I pull the pins in and out real easy. But when we've traveled with it in the up position, I dropped it down so the weight is on the pins and the weight is not on the the cables, so forth. It does go up and down very quickly. It's a little noisy, but it's so fast, so it's a short-lived noise. So that's it. So that's the bed in the down position. And it goes up just as quickly. I can turn off the lights from that are underneath it. So, yeah, we really like it. Like I said, it gives us a full-size queen bed, nice, comfortable, and then during the day, the rest of the time when you're not in bed, you've got all that additional floor space. Even with a Murphy bed or whatever, they do use floor space. This bed does not consume any floor space. Well, maybe just a little tiny bit from the winch, which is down on the floor back behind the EcoFlow Wave 2. But anyway, very happy with the bed mechanism. I did a video on that, and we have lights underneath there. We got LED lights throughout, and just like the outlet stuff, they're all surface mount. So like I don't have anything protruding into my insulation like you would get with a puck one or other design. So everything is a surface mount as far as the lighting and outlets go. More storage on this side. We typically use this side as a hamper. More storage on this side. We have, we carry heavy stuff in here. Canned goods. We have some pots and pans in there. We also have storage for games and a bunch of other stuff. Just lots of storage underneath there. That's almost 4 feet. Well, it's over 4 feet. It's 52 inches. So storage there. Then we come up here to the upper storage. So we have, plates and napkins and all your kind of kitchen kind of stuff is up in there, as well as some foodstuffs on the right side. Storage down below. Again, and there's another drawer inside this door here. Open that door and there's another drawer that slides out. So we got 3 drawers in those 2 drawers. Then we got the under sink storage. This is all faux. This doesn't really open or anything because the water tank is behind there. So you can see the 50-gallon water tank right there. And that has been just perfect. I didn't want to go too large because of the weight issues, and didn't want to go too small because we're trying to get a 2-week stay out of this thing. Energy wise, with the solar that we have, 800 watts on the roof of the trailer, 1600 watts on the bed of the truck, we don't have, and over 16.5 kilowatt hours of battery storage, the energy isn't an issue with us. And so food and water are. And so we've got enough room to store enough food for 2 weeks, no problemo. And if we're conservative, we've got enough water to go for 2 weeks. We've got basically 54 gallons of fresh water, and we only use that water for dishes and showers. We carry, and you can see the dispenser, we carry 5 gallons underneath the counter that's strapped in the corner, and then I can have, we usually carry 2, so I have 2 more 5s in the back seat of the truck. I got room for 4 or 5, just depends on the length of the trip. But anyway, that's drinking water. It's spring water, and we just use that for drinking and cooking. The 50 gallons of fresh water on board here, strictly washing dishes and taking showers. Up above, one of the 2 vents and fans in the trailer. So we've got one in the kitchen area here. Good location. That's where the original one was. So I just replaced the original vent with this vent and the fan. And it both of them have the vent covers on them, so you leave the vents open all the time, rain or shine, run down the road, whatever. And so been happy with their performance. Like you said, no condensation issues in here, either from the kitchen or the bathroom. So that's the main living area part of the trailer. The winch has worked well, the bed has worked well, ample storage, good lighting, and we can switch these individually, so if you want one end or the other as far as lighting here, they are switched together. You come in the door here, you can switch those, and then the one in the kitchen here is set separately. We also have lighting underneath the upper cabinets, so lots of light for cooking and meal prep or whatever. And then they also are switchable here, so you can have one or both on, or you can have red light. and they're also dimmable, so you can dim the white light also. The sink has proven to be just the perfect size, not too big, not too small. Just been happy with its operation. Your water pump is right here, so everything is just handy and has worked real well. And so let's hit the bathroom next. So the bathroom's in the nose of the trailer. It's the first, width of V, 4.5 feet. The shower is a 32 by 32 inch shower, and has the Nautilus door. The shower was just another Amazon special. It was $390 or something like that. And we've got a what do they call it? Aqua? No, I forget what they call it. We had we had the same thing in the fifth wheel. Oxygenetics, I think is the name. Anyway, works real well. We're happy that, again, the shower is kind of like the sink and the refrigerator and freezer. Not too big, not too small. Just kind of the Goldilocks setup here. So because of the V here, we've got a little bit of storage here, and so you can see I've got some hooks there, got a shelf there. We've got mirror and a cabinet up there. We got a countertop and storage down below. This is the water heater that we use. It's an electric water heater. It's a Bosch. I did some playing around with it and found the best heat setting right there, and that's scalding hot, so it's plenty hot for doing dishes, yet it's not maxed out, and that seems to be a good setting. And the thing I like about it is it doesn't take very long from this thing to go from whatever temperature, not having been turned on. I turn it on and it's hot in 15 minutes maybe, and it's a 4-gallon water heater. I've had several travel trailers over the years with 6 gallons, and then of course our fifth wheel had a 10-gallon, which is more than enough. But even with the 6 gallons, I never had an issue with not having enough hot water. And so I thought, well, we'll give this a try. 4-gallon, I wanted, something that, the smaller the tank, the smaller the volume, the faster it will heat up, the faster it will, keep up and restore. And so I didn't know, going into it, if that was going to be big enough, if I was going to have to go to a 6. Well, I'm here to say that this has worked fine. I haven't run out of hot water yet taking a shower. And like I said, it recoups quickly. It's 1400 watts. And so far, very happy with it. You can see I have an outlet down here, and then that's the pressure relief line goes down through the bottom of the trailer right there. So that's our hot water heater. More covered space over the toilet, and that brings me to another discussion topic. That's a Laveo dry flush toilet. Love it. They're a little expensive. That's the downside you hear people talk about. Well, I'm gonna talk about it too. They are a little pricey. I've been buying the cartridges, box 15 at a time, and that and the pea powder and everything, and it's spendy when you buy it, but it lasts quite a while, especially if you're using it, like in the evening, after dark, at night, need be, first thing in the morning, that kind of thing. During the day when you're out and about, whatever, you can use public facilities, and that stretches your your cartridge taller that way. But otherwise, it's comfortable. It's no fuss, no muss. I mean, it's the simplest. I've had the cartridge toilets. I've had, regular RVs with the black tanks and all that. This is the easiest, no hassle way to go. Really like it. Really like it. Usually the first day of each trip, or I don't think each trip, but if you haven't been out in a long time, I plug the battery in. It takes 30 minutes or so, and it says it's topped off, it's fine. The rest of the time it just runs off battery power, just out of sight, out of mind. I did add a little battery powered puck light underneath this for at night, so my wife doesn't have to turn on the big bright LED light in here. She just turns that on, and she likes that better. Again, fan in here. This fan is used a lot. We find that using that fan is been the way to go for a lot of things. Like when you got the air conditioning on, if you turn on that fan, open that vent, turn on the fan on low. That's about all I ever use them on, is low. It exhausts all the heat, draws it to the front of the trailer and out. And the air conditioning is then able to provide, that cold air, and it's down below, and as it heats and rises, it exhausts, and it does a much better job of cooling the trailer versus having everything closed up. Because this is the intake is there and the exhaust is there as far as for the inside of the trailer. So it's drawing air in through the bottom here, and it comes out I've got the vents closed down, but it comes out there. So you're drawing cooler air stuff, but you're not exhausting the hot air as it rises. It just stays out there until it would build up. So it just seems to be a more efficient method. And it's one of those things, we've tried different aspects, and that works well. I've heard people say, oh, it didn't cool enough using EcoFlow 2. Well, it does. You just have to be able to figure out the science of the the space you're in. There's a medicine cabinet on that wall right there. So that's pretty much the end of the tour and overview. I've been watching things because how things are going to move. You're going down the road, it's it's like this thing's exposed to a continuous earthquake going down the road. And so what are you going to do? You're just going to build things as best you can and hope that they can withstand the earthquake. Well, what I have noticed was that we've had some gaps, and you might have seen them in the video here. We've had some gaps open up. That what happened was the trailer was built in a shop in the wintertime when it was 40 degrees, 40 to 45 degrees. And in the summertime, in the storage here, it got well over 100 degrees. Well, probably 120 degrees. I mean, the ambient air was, 116, 118 outside of the metal. And these storage units aren't vented, so it just heats up in here. And so things expanded, and so I had some gaps where there were none originally, because the metal framework of this trailer expanded more than the interior wood. Different coefficients of expansion and contraction. So I'm noticing now that it's starting to get cold again. You can see here we're at 54 or 55 degrees inside and 57 outside right now, sitting inside the storage unit. And so some of these gaps are starting to become smaller. So anyway, so far, these cabinets and everything have held up okay. I purchased them at a big box store. They're not the best quality or anything. I painted them. They were natural wood. But, you couldn't adjust these things the way the hinges came. Look at the gap. And that's adjusted in as much as you could do it. I just, see, it's not just one. But it's been holding up, running down the road and everything so far. Been happy. The insulation, as far as our heat retention and so forth, has been good. The floor's got 1 inch of insulation. The walls, with the exception of the back, are 1 inch. The back's 1.5, and the ceiling's 1.5. And that seems to have worked well. It's just that regular hardboard foam insulation or whatever it's called. And it has worked sufficient. So I don't plan on doing any extremes. If I did, I would have built the trailer a little differently. Gone with over double the insulation. But yeah, what we're doing, we're going to probably stay, above freezing and hopefully below 100. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions about any of the products used, nothing's sponsored. I bought everything that's in this trailer. But I've got a variety of things. Like I said, we got 3 different battery packs, Calb cells, Battleborn, and SOKs. Both the solar charge controllers are Renogy. The inverter is Renogy. It's a 3,000 watt pure sine wave with a 700 amp charger, or 75 amp charger. We got the EcoFlow Wave 2. We got the Bouge RV refrigerator freezers. So, like I said, this is just a straightforward review because I have nothing to gain or lose by, spinning anything. This is exactly what you see is what you get, what you're hearing is what happens. So, yeah, overall, we're very pleased with the trailer. Maybe after this winter, when we do some boondocking in the desert, I'll have more information, because what we've done so far has been a combination of boondocking and staying in state parks where we have electric and water. And so, but the boondocking hasn't been an issue. I have yet to use more than 38% of just one of my 3 battery packs. So power's not been an issue. Being out in the desert in the wintertime, I don't think will be an issue. And I haven't used the panels on the truck at all. That's just 800 watts of solar on the roof. So, yeah, I think we're set up power-wise. Like I said, water is our only real limiting factor, and I have some workarounds with that too. So maybe I'll talk about that this spring after we've boondocked for some time in the winter. Hopefully in the Arizona desert.